Noswaith a bawb, good evening all, and welcome back to the second day of the National Seren Academy Conference. Ac os chi'n ymuno am y tro cyntaf, if you're joining us for the first time, a very warm welcome to the virtual Seren Academy Conference 2021. Noson llawn o gefnogaeth eto heno. We've got another jam-packed day full of insightful and inspirational support to help you on your journey into higher education. Byddwn ni'n cyfeirio at yr ysgolion haf sydd ar y gorwel. We'll be sharing with you the summer school opportunities in 2022. A sesiwn holyg ateb fyw arall, another live question and answer session, this time on applying for international courses and summer schools. So don't forget to send in any questions you have to seren@casba.wales. A chofiwch am yr elfennau pwysig eraill. Remember that throughout the conference and beyond, you'll be able to access academic masterclasses in a range of disciplines and navigate yourself through our online exhibition. Our fantastic university partners have uploaded materials and resources to help you find out more about each institution. Gwybodaeth benodol am y sefydliadau a gallwch chi gweld ar unrhyw adeg. You can access these at any point, but between 6 and 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday and Thursday, colleagues from our university partners will be here for live Q&As when you can directly ask your question and queries. Manteisiwch ar hyn, ac ewch I siarad â nhw. Yes, go and take that opportunity and speak to them. Ar dosbarthiadau meistr yna, the masterclasses will help you explore the subjects you might want to take at university. Alongside the masterclasses, you'll also have access to that reflection document. Fe fydd addoben fyfyrio chi gael pwyso mesur eich ymatebion. This document will help you think about which subjects you enjoyed, which you didn't enjoy as much, and how what you've seen may have changed your thinking about what course you want to study. Ond cyn cychwyn, so before we begin, dyma rai cyfarwyddiadau I gadw trefn ar bethau. Some housekeeping reminders in case you were unable to join us yesterday. Ar ôl y cyflwyniadau cychwynnol, once we've heard from our next speakers, you'll need to revisit the lobby area. There you'll find links to the information, advice and guidance presentations and question and answer sessions. Once you've clicked on the link at the time shown, the session will start automatically. And you'll get more guidance from me later on. Cewch fwy o fanylion wrth nes ymlaen. Ond am nawr, dyma dysglwydd o'r awennau. I'll now hand over to Lois Williams and Dr. Matt Williams to announce our summer school opportunities. Gan ddilyn hynny, followed by Glen Cosby from the University of Bristol, who'll provide you with some information on how to make your university application stand out, including that all-important personal statement, y datganiad personol na. Cyngor pwysig felly. Ysgolion haf Seren I ddechrau. Let's hear now about the Seren Summer School offerings for you, our Seren Academy students in 2022. Beth sydd ar y gorwel ta beth?
Hello, wonderful members of the Seren Network. My name is Matt Williams. I am the Access Fellow of Jesus College at the University of Oxford. Jesus College, as you may know, is the Welsh College of Oxford University because we were founded exactly 450 years ago this year by a Welshman called Hugh Apprice to educate Welsh people. And we still retain a very, very fond, loving, close connection to the country of Wales. And so we're thrilled to be working for another year with the Seren Network, with you. So first I've got to say, on behalf of the university, a massive congratulations to all of you for getting your place on Seren Academy. It's a massive achievement. It does, as the taglines say, mean that you are now one of Wales's brightest people, which of course means that you're one of the world's brightest people, and you've got an awful lot of power at your fingertips. And so now it becomes a question as to what you're going to do with all that power. Are you going to grab it and make the best of it, or are you going to let it just slip through your fingers? There's going to be so much on offer with the Seren Academy this year that you can take advantage of. And we at the University of Oxford are going to be there every step of the way. So we have just set up a new consortium, a group of colleges. So Oxford University is split up into 39 colleges, and 3 of those colleges are going to be focused exclusively on access and outreach work for Wales. And those colleges are Jesus College, the Welsh College, New College, which despite its name is very, very old, dates back to the 14th century, and St Catherine's College, which is relatively new by Oxford standards, but is nonetheless beautiful. So those three colleges combined will be offering all sorts of fantastic support to you in conjunction with the Seren network. So we will, for example, be offering a lot of in-person and online admission support, academic enrichment. We'll be encouraging you and your Seren hubs to come and visit us in Oxford. We will also, most importantly, be running 2 huge summer schools. We started out with a summer school for 22 Seren learners back in 2017. Last year, we hosted summer schools both online and in person for just under 375 people. And next year, it's going to be even bigger still. We're hoping to have about 475 people catered for by our summer schools. There's going to be a 2-week online international summer school. International because there'll be tutors from all over the world, from the best universities on the planet, coming to speak to you and teach you and develop your minds and broaden your horizons. And a 1-week residential summer school in Jesus College, Oxford, in August 2022. And we will give you all of the information you'll need to apply for either of those in due course. And we very much welcome your applications. I should just note, importantly, that we're not doing this in order to try and give you the hard sell on Oxford University. I mean, the fact that you're on the Seren network means that you're definitely bright enough to attend Oxford, and we do hope that you will seriously consider us as an option for your higher education. But we're also acutely aware that Oxford isn't right for everybody, and some of you will be interested in applying to Cambridge and to Harvard and to other Russell Group universities, and some of you may not have made up your mind about university at all, and that's absolutely fine. So don't think that, coming along to one of our events means that you're just going to get this sort of endless hard sell on why you should apply to Oxford. It's not like that. We're just going to give you academic content. We're going to give you admission support. We're basically going to give you the skills, the power and the confidence to make the right decisions for you, because ultimately that's what we want. We want you to make the best informed, most empowered decisions for yourself, because we have noticed that Welsh students are underrepresented at the world's best universities, and that is both a moral problem and it's self-harm. It means that we're not taking advantage of your fantastic talents and abilities to the extent that we ought to. So, what are you going to do with all that power? I hope that you grab it with both hands and that you come along to all of the various opportunities that Seren will offer you, and that you apply for our summer schools and that you get stuck in, and you recognise how much fantastic support is on offer from a range of different institutions, all hoping to help you. But nonetheless, at this stage, pat yourselves on the back. You've done an enormous thing. But remember, now's the time to get stuck in and start taking those opportunities on. Thank you very much for watching. I'm very much looking forward to working with you in due course. All the best then. Bye.
Diolch yn fawr, Matt. Yn wir, dyma lansio cyfle arbennig i chi ymgeisio i Ysgol Ha Ryngwladol ar-lein Seren. Dwi'n gweithio fel rheolwr prosiect yn Equal Education Partners erbyn hyn, ond tra oeddwn i'n astudio gradd israddedig a chwrs meistr mewn Ffrangeg ym Mhrifysgol Rhydychen, nes I helpu cydlynu Ysgol Ha Ryngwladol ar-lein Seren, ac o'n i'n dysgu yn ffrwd llenyddiaeth a ieithoedd modern, a gallai eich sicrhau chi I fod yn brofiad gwerth chweil. Ar ôl llwyddiant y flwyddyn gyntaf yn 2020, ehangodd yr Ysgol Ha ar-lein I gynnwys tua 300 o ddysgwyr a dyblodd nifer y pynciau ar gael I 8 pwnc gwahanol, o fathemateg a chyfrifiadureg I athroniaeth a diwinyddiaeth I enwi ond 2. Ac eleni mi fydd yr Ysgol Ha ar gael ar gyfer 400 ohonoch chi ddysgwyr Seren. Oedd y sawl a gymrodd rhan yn mynychu nifer o sesiynau academaidd, fel seminara a darlithoedd oedd yn seiliedig ar eu pwnc, yn ogystal â chael sesiynau gwybodaeth a chyngor ar fywyd ac ymgeisio I brifysgol gan gyn-dysgwyr Seren oedd yn eich sgidiau chi chydig yn ôl, ond sydd bellach yn astudio ym mhrifysgolion gorau'r byd. Cafodd rhai y cyfle I rannu eu gwaith mewn cyflwyniadau ar gyfer ffigurau proffesiynol blaenllaw yng Nghymru hefyd. Y nod erbyn diwedd y bythefnos oedd cyflwyno prosiect capstone yn seiliedig ar gwestiwn a osodwyd ar gyfer bob pwnc a chael tiwtorial mewn grŵp bychan I drafod ar y diwedd. I chi gael blas ar y math o bethau oedd yn cael eu hystyried, dyma enghreifftiau o brosiectau llynedd. Disgrifiwch algorithm alldaclo fake news ar gyfryngau cymdeithasol. All llywodraethau wario i ffordd i adferiad ar ôl Covid a ddylan nhw. A chynigwch ymatab peirianyddol ymarferol i'n leddfu newid hinsawdd. A mi fyna restr arall o bynciau difyr iawn i bendroni dros nhw ar gyfer ysgol Ha 2022. Felly pam ddylech chi ymgeisio am y cyfle eleni? Mae'n gyfle heb i ail os ydych chi eisiau cael blas o flaen llaw ar sut beth ydy astudio fel myfyriwr. A mae'n sicr yn mynd i fod o ddefnydd os ydych chi eisiau gwneud cais i brifysgol gystadleuol. Mi allwch chi sôn am eich ymchwil ydych chi'n neud yn yr ysgol Ha yn eich datganiad personol enghraifft. Y profiadau a gewch chi yn yr ysgol Ha ydy'r union profiadau fydd angen i chi sôn amdanyn nhw yn eich cais mwyn creu argraff ar brifysgolion. Yn rôl ni yn Equal ydy i recrwtio addysgwyr o safon arbennig i arwain y sesiynau academaidd. A eich bod chi'n ama be ydy'r elfen ryngwladol o'r ysgol Ha? Wel, rydyn ni'n recrwtio addysgwyr sydd yn astudio ym mhrifysgolion mwyaf blaenllaw y byd i'ch dysgu chi, ddysgwyr Seren. Llynedd o gan ni addysgwyr o Unol Daleithiau America a Singapore a chynrychiolaeth o brifysgolion gorau y Deyrnas Unedig hefyd. Felly arlwy hollol ryngwladol ac o'r radd flaena. Ond mae'n gyfle heb i ail i'ch cysylltu chi efo academyddion gorau y byd. A mi ydych chi yn ddigon da i gael chymestyn at y safona academaidd uchel yma, credwch chi fi. Wan, dyma brofiad hollol unigryw i ddysgwyr Seren. Mae o yn rhywbeth sydd yn exclusif i chi. Felly, gnewch y mwyaf o'r hyn sy'n cael ei gynnig i chi a gyrwch y cais nato ni. Pob hwyl.
Glen da. Welcome to the session on making your application stand out. My name's Glen and I'm from the University of Bristol, where before becoming a wording participation and undergraduate recruitment officer, I know it's a hell of a gobful, my job title, I was previously an English teacher and a head of sixth form. So I've spent years trying to help students like you find the right course and make an application that really stands out. In the session, we aim to cover everything you need to think about up to and including the point of submitting your UCAS form. We won't go beyond into interviews and so on. We'll aim to cover what the universities are looking for, how you can fill any gaps that you might have, and finally, how to write a great personal statement. So, the first thing is entry requirements. Are they looking at your GCSE grades or not? So, for example, some med schools will require a C or an A in maths. Some, like Bristol, will allow you to take a resit and consider that. Others won't. So that's something to look at for specific courses. Do they offer on just A levels or equivalents? Cardiff, for example, will take any BTEC extended diploma for law. Bristol will take any BTEC extended diploma for law if it's in a range of specific relevant subjects. Something to do your research into sooner rather than later. Also, do you qualify for a lower offer? There's something called a contextual offer, which most of the selected universities do to level the educational playing field so that people who have fewer advantages have a chance to try and catch up. At the University of Bristol, for example, there are 4 ways you can qualify for an offer which is reduced on every single course that we do by 2 grades. That would take, for example, medicine from 3As to AAC. The contextual offers are made on various different criteria. At Bristol, they relate to your school or college. They relate to your home postcode using a system called Polar by the Office for Students, which lots of universities use. And then we would also look at factors like, have you ever been in care or have you ever taken part in one of our outreach programs like our summer schools? Other universities use different criteria, but if you think you might qualify, it's well worth looking into, and if you can't find out on their website, email them. That reduction could give you just the edge that you need. Also worth knowing, will they consider the Welsh BAC, the Skills Challenge Certificate, or EPQs, or other qualifications? Will they ask you to take another exam alongside, something like the Cambridge Pre-University or the STEP? Will they ask for a portfolio for things like architecture or certain art courses and things like that. They might also ask you to take an aptitude test. These are generally taken at the start of year 13. The famous ones are the LNAT for law and the BMAT and the UCAT for medicine. But at Oxbridge there are also ones for maths, classics, English, modern foreign languages and sciences. Something that you should figure out before you get to year 13 and start preparing your UCAS form. It's also really important to know if they score the personal statement, and if they do, what are they looking for? Now, generally, what the universities are looking for in personal statements and more broadly boils down to three main things. One is your academic ability. Will you thrive and achieve? Now, the most selective universities want the best students, obviously, and the reason they want you is because they want you to not only achieve and, as I say, do well on the course, but also to bring yourself and to add your strengths to the academic community. This is mainly demonstrated in your qualifications, but as I said, what those qualifications are will vary from course to course and also from university to university with the same course. The second thing they want to see is your motivation and passion. When a university has more applicants than places, they need to start to see who has a real drive to do the course that they want to do. Who has done enough to understand what they're applying for, what the course or the career involves, and has shown the willingness, the enthusiasm and the energy to go beyond just sitting in the sixth form classes. The third thing they're looking for potentially is relevant experience and skills. This would generally be shown in your personal statement or possibly in a work experience form. The sooner you start to understand and draft what they're looking for things like motivation and passion and for relevant skills and experience, then you can start to draft your personal statement and you can start to find things that will help you plug any gaps. When I say plug any gaps, I don't want you to panic here. We're not making any unrealistic expectations of a 17 or 18-year-old. We don't expect applicants for business to have launched their own Kickstarters or social enterprise. We don't expect people applying for social policy to have started a charity. No, the expectations and the things that would demonstrate real enthusiasm, motivation, interest in the subject and passion can be much more scaled back than that. You can look at things like MOOCs, massive open online courses, usually completely free, offered by some of the best universities in the world and just available for you to dip your toe into. There's also things like open university, open units. We come back round now to the personal statement. As we said, not actually every university and every course will score the personal statement. It's important that you find out if they do, though. I'm very proud of the fact that at the University of Bristol, we have something called an admission statement for every single course that we do. And in that, it's a very boring, dry document explaining how we consider applications, but it does tell you, if we score the personal statement, exactly what we're looking for with specific bullet points. In general, with a personal statement, avoid jokes. It's very hard to make them land. Admissions selectors who read hundreds of personal statements have their sense of humour really tested. So avoid jokes, avoid slang, avoid quotes which can sound pretentious, avoid being negative about anything. It's always much more interesting to be positive, even if it's about the challenges that you've faced and overcome. And avoid anything too specific about any particular university or course. What should you include? Well, the best tip I can give you is to make it like an essay. The title of the essay is why I should be allowed to study economics or whatever. Every paragraph should be constructed like you would in an essay for history or English, where you're building a smaller section of the overall argument within that paragraph, and within each paragraph you provide quotes or evidence or data or proof to back up your point. The key is to make it specific and personal. This will make it about you, it will make it come alive, and it will make it convincing. The way you want to do this is by showing, not telling. There's a really great technique which I would recommend you Google, the STAR technique, which stands for Situation, Task, Action, Result. Just remember to translate Seren when you Google at home and look up the STAR technique. Now, an example of how this would work would be not to say, I've wanted to be a doctor since I was 7. This might be true and is potentially quite laudable, but it's much more compelling if you show me. This means describe in detail a situation, ideally in a clinical environment, where you saw, did, learnt, experienced something about the science of medicine or about a health science career. Then you get really specific. You make it really personal, showing you understood how that situation was for the people involved or for the professionals involved, and then you reflect on it and show what you've learned either about the science or about the course. So to sum up, there's loads you can be doing to make your application stand out, and the sooner you start, the better. There's also loads that you can do online without massive efforts, but just gently chipping away, heading towards your goal. If you treat it like a marathon, if you go at it a little bit every week from now all the way through to the start of year 13, when you actually finish your application, you're going to do much better. Don't let the pressure of this freak you out. Starting now and getting stuck into an application about philosophy, looking for ways to understand what a philosophy course looks like at university, doing wider reading, doing MOOCs, doing taster sessions, doing a summer school, which then leads you to conclude you actually want to do history, is still going to make for a much better history application than if you just kind of wait for things to become clearer. It's a really good idea to get going, get motivated, and then if you need to, you can change direction. So to sum everything up, don't let it stress you, don't let it freak you out. Get a positive mindset, think about how well you've done in your GCSEs, and then get really ambitious and get started. If I can make a final little bit again for getting access and information about things like contextual offers and summer schools, I'd also ask you to look at the online stuff that the universities are offering. So if you were, for example, to look at University of Bristol virtual resources, you could sign up for academic taster content for specific online events, and also then find out about applications to the Sutton Trust Summer School and the Insight into Bristol Summer School. But the same thing goes for all the top universities that you will be thinking about. Remember, we need you more than you need us. So get ambitious, get going, and the very best of luck with making your application stand out.
Mae'n mynd yn dda. What a night we're having so far. A chofiwch gadw llygad barcud ar y sianeli cyfryngau cymdeithasol I gadw mewn cysylltiad â phopeth sy'n digwydd. Please make sure that you do follow the social media channels and keep in touch with your hub coordinators and sixth form teachers for more updates. Now it'll shortly be time for your first set of presentations and follow-up Q&A sessions for tonight, which will be starting at 6:40. Amser I chi ddewis felly. Heno, tonight's topics are Managing Eureka's Timeline, where you'll hear from Iona Jones from the University of Bath, Rhian Evans o Brifysgol Abertawe, Swans University, ac alumni Seren, Tom Aled, now studying at Cambridge, ac Elliw Ford, now an undergraduate at Jesus College, Oxford. Nay, or you have a choice for the Oxbridge admissions presentation and follow-on Q&A with our ever-supportive Sandy Mill from the University of Cambridge, Natalie Thomas from Inside Uni, University of Oxford, and Seren alumni Jacques Maquis, a current undergraduate at the University of Oxford, and Jason Louis, Seren alumni now at Cambridge. So take a short break, gwnewch eich dewis, and come back to the lobby for the first sessions, which will start at 6:40.